achieving the self-sufficiency by 2024. The idea of the National Rice Fair is to create a dedicated platform for the promotion of rice production, processing, marketing, and consumption in order to eliminate rice importation in Ghana. The fair brings together all actors in the rice value chain to exhibit their wares and services while also discussing ways to promote the rice sector. So we've invited a couple of people to give us insights about the rice fair, and they've joined me at the table. Right on my immediate left, Mr. Alhassan Zakaria. He is a business consultant at Tamana Company Limited and a member of the Rice Fair Planning Committee. Happy New Year. Welcome.
Happy New Year to you too. Thank you and good morning.
Good morning to you. He's not here alone. He came with Madame Rita Vindenga. She is a program leader at the German International Corporation GIZ Move project. Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Vigit.
Happy New Year.
That's the extent of my German, but I hope I did not disappoint you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us at the table. So rice consumption. Recently, the calls for us to consume more local rice has been very rife, and because we also want to maximize our land use when it comes to agriculture and also decrease our import burdens and the rate at which we import rice, we are being called upon to also support the local rice growing farming community. How far do you think we've gone when you monitor the situation from the point of view of, for example, GIZ, with making the facilities or the resources of rice farming more available to farmers?
I think the last decade already we could double the production. So when we see where we come from, Ghana has really made a good strive. And also encouraging that the National Rice Development Strategy is ready. It's launched very soon, and it will be put in place together with all actors, especially the private partners like Tamana Rice Mill. There are meaningful rice mills now, which has also increased the processing in country. The quality of the rice has improved tremendously. I don't think you find so many stones as you have found before. It's very rare now. If you buy quality rice from any of the Ghana rice mills, I think you are very safe with all the teeth. You can see mine are still intact, and I do eat local rice.
Yeah.
The consumption has gone up by 8% per year since 2009. So we can see a steady growth in the consumption. Is today the second staple crop in Ghana, after maize, of course.
So rice has risen above the value chain, and it's above cassava.
It's above cassava too.
So maize and then rice. I'm so impressed with that statistic. But what has gone into making this dream a reality? And I'm sure from Tamana you can share some perspective that it has not been an easy journey to even get people to change their perceptions, like Rita said, about consuming local rice. So there's too much rocks in there, not even stones. There's too many rocks in there. Yes. But we've come a long way. What has it taken for us to get to this point?
So using Tamana as a case study, when the company started as far back 2011, it was very difficult to even get supermarkets to accept the product and then put it on their shelves. But it took the hard work of the CEO, Alhaji Saib Ibrahima, to continue to push. And then in 2013, the company succeeded in putting 2 rice mills, which collectively had the capacity of processing about 40 tons of rice per day. And the hard work continued. And in 2020, the company also increased its processing capacity by about 250. So the company currently can process paddy rice 290 per day. Now, these efforts have contributed, and the branding as well. The company's branding has ensured that many people now want to buy the Nasia Star rice. And across Ghana, there are a lot of other local rice processing companies that are dotted, and these are all making efforts in branding. Like Madam said, in the past, the issue had to deal with stones in the local rice. That has changed very much, and we need to be able to create that awareness in the minds of the public to know that now when you are buying local rice, you don't have to bother about stones. And that is why we are organizing this rice fair, so that we will try and emphasize the need to patronize the locally produced rice, because the issues that were, we used to have with the local rice are no longer there, and the rice fair would adequately address that.
But if we're thinking about, cutting down on imports, this is about 50% of the demand that we import from outside. Do the farmers have the capacity to do this? Is it possible for us to get to a point where we do not import any rice at all?
Yes, we have the capacity. As you rightly put in your intro, we have our land in Ghana. More than 50% of land in Ghana is suitable for agriculture, and rice is part of it. And if you look at the government-owned policy, the goal is to ensure that by 2024 we have rice sufficiency. And the farmers we have a lot of people who are engaged in rice farming, but the problem had to do with mechanization and farm inputs, and as well as equipment. So if these ones are addressed, we don't have any problem with meeting our demand.
What do you think, Rita?
I think it needs all hands on deck. It's not something the private sector can do alone. There's also land preparation. It needs infrastructure development to have the rice perimeters. That needs really big investments on Caterpillar. So we need financial investment. We need the government's support. We need the rice seeds development, which all has started. And I want to congratulate the government to really have put the first steps in place for planting, for food and jobs. There is the right step placed. Now it needs private partners who are willing to invest in rice mills, in mechanization. We still lack mechanization when it also comes to land preparation, to harvest, tillage. We also need more capacities development on all sides. It starts from the milling side, and I think, Tamanna, we have worked hand in hand for many years now. CapEx needs to be increased. The German Financial Corporation has also invested in increasing the outgrowers, so we can have more farmers. And this is where we then see the business case for the farming side. A lot of women are involved, both on farming but also on parboiling and further marketing. So when we look at the job opportunities in the agricultural sector, it's huge. And to cut down on the 200 million per year investment, so imagine $200 million less leaving the country for import. I think if we can create these jobs in Ghana, we can drive a new economy, and we can create revenues for the rural areas, for women, for youth, and they will reinvest it in their children, so we will have a driving economy.
So that's why you're doing this rice fair, to bring all these different players on the table together so that they can help each other to succeed. How important is this at this time, and what should we expect?
So it's very important at this time because, the president has been calling on Ghana to reduce the importation of rice. And you know that just before the end of last year, there was a ban on issuing out forests to import rice. And we have been discussing this idea for some time now, and we think that this is the right time for us to do it. And the importance is that our major goal is for us to bring all these partners together to create sustainable partnerships. So the input dealers, the equipment dealers, the commercial farmers, the big buyers in terms of rice, they're all going to be there. And then we look at other financial institutions will be there, so that we'll have a panel discussion, for example, on the first day, where we'll discuss issues bordering on how we can build partnership among these various stakeholders to ensure that private sector contribution in rice production, processing and marketing, as well as consumption, is very much enhanced. So we want all the actors to be there, and then we'll be able to do the linkages in terms of partnership building.
So for GIZ, who has partnered this initiative for so long, how much are we talking about here in terms of offering a financial backup to, for example, a local rice farmer? How much would someone need to even break even in the first maybe 5 years?
The business case varies from size of the companies to company. So when we have investments of, let's say, 100,000 euro to start off, the big volumes are in the capex, in the working capital to buy from the farmers, so and to have very strong farmer linkages. Then there is an investment also on the training of farmers. We work hand in hand with the companies to increase the knowledge of farmers on good agricultural practices, on sustainable rice practices, in order to consume less water, consume less fertilizer, and have the highest outputs. Because the more we work efficient, the more also we can get from the restricted surface of the good land. And then to increase the number of farmers for each rice mill so that they can work on full capacities. Then there is the investment also in different mechanization, innovations. So the investments are on many steps. It's not on the rice mills alone. We have companies who want to come into the rice sector now with over $100 million of dollar. It's not the money alone, it's also with the knowledge packages, and that's why our appeal is also to support this initiative by a private company with the government, to have this first national rice fair, but also to have subsequent engagements where we look at joint investments. And for this also we need financial institutions. For this we need technical partners. I think in Ghana we have the big partners already in Development Corporation, World Bank, African Development Bank, JICA, then the German corporation. We do have also the technical assistance. The risk on the private sector, if the drive it alone, is huge, and you need a lot of financial breadth to carry it alone. That's why all hands join together.
Tell us what the journey has been like for Tamana. You said in 2011 or almost before 2010, you put your things together. And how did you grow? What take us through some of the steps until you got to the attention of GIZ, and now they are partnering you to do this program?
Yeah, so the company first began with rice farming, and for 3 successful years had to deal with bushfire. The first year, the company did rice farm. The fire came to sweep everything away. The second year, the same thing happened. The third year, the same thing happened. And the vision of the CEO was driven by the need to create jobs for women. Because he had earlier on come to the Accra here to see how young girls were moving from the north to Accra to do Kaye. And so he was motivated, and he realized that he could do something better. So when he came down, he started with the rice farming and engaging women. So in the 4th year, the company ventured into rice milling and got 20 tons of rice plant installed and engaged women to do parboiling. But a year later, through the support of the government under the Exim Bank, the company got 20 additional ton processing plant to make it 40. So when we started, first we're just doing the rice and trying to market it to the shops. But like I indicated earlier, it was very difficult. But with dint of hard work, the company continued to pursue. And then GIZ and other partners like IDH, saw how the company was helping women. Because if you come to the factory and you see there are more than 1,500 women that the company currently works with. Some are in the factory and some are in other communities where we have created a parboiling centers and given them training through the support of GIZ. And so in 2020, the company expanded significantly with the support of a Turkish company to install additional 250 processing mills. At the moment, the company's factory is one of the biggest in Ghana.
Where is it located?
It's located at Nasia in the northeast region. Okay. So Nasia is just some few minutes drive from Wale Wale, where we are having the rice fair.
Okay.
Yes. So now the development partners continue to support, and in recent time, TwoScale helped the company to launch an aggressive marketing campaign. And as we speak, there are advertisements going on in radio and TV in the north. And this has really driven demand so much. And the challenge now is how to meet the demand. And that is what prompted us to say that let's organize something like a national rice fair so that we will continue to drum home the need for us to promote our local rice. Because like we said, we import more than 50% of our rice requirement in Ghana. And so if we don't work hard to make sure that we're able to close this gap, then it means that even as demand increases, we are not able to meet the demand. And so the journey has not been that smooth, but we thank God we have been able to get to a very, very, very high height. And today, as I indicated, the Nasia Star Red is a household name. And very soon you will feel it.
I look forward to it. I'm looking at some figures now from the World Bank page.
Okay.
And specifically for Germany, we import about 53 million worth of rice from Germany alone. And there are others on the list: Vietnam, Thailand, India, Pakistan, United States, China. So why would Germany be interested in losing 51 million of its exports in Germany's case, and in our situation importing it into Ghana? Why would you want to support local farmers to do something that would take money out of your country's pocket?
I think if we look very visionary, we should look at closer local economies and shortening the transaction costs of any economy, and also have this circuit very well developed in each country. I don't think Germany is a rice producing country first, so these are trade channels from single out companies. If this trade channel is there, the ecological footprint definitely is not something we will be very proud of. Our vision is definitely to have sustainable, climate resilient value chains, and for this they need to be shortened, so we could consume as much what we produce locally. And this is the same trend also what we see in Europe, and this is all what drives our support for the country to really develop something which can sustain the population here, that also reduces migration, if you want. So the economic losses for all countries are there.
The idea of achieving self-sufficiency might seem a bit far-fetched, because you told me earlier on that only the consumption rate at least has grown only by about 8%. So the preference for local rice at the minute, if I understand you correctly, is 8%. What really is the determining factor? What would be the game changer in this case in making sure that this figure 8 rises closer to the 100 that we may envisage? Because 8% on any business plan sounds like a very risky venture.
8% over a good period makes a lot. And I think Alassane has mentioned we have currently a gap already on the supply. The demand grows faster than we can supply. So this is the business opportunity. Also, I think with COVID, the higher logistic costs for import play into favor for the Ghanaian rice sector. If you see today a container which before costed maybe $5,000 to $7,000, costs today $20,000, $25,000. All this is an advantage, a competitive advantage for the Ghana rice. And I think the consumer taste also, as you mentioned, you also eat Ghana rice today?
I do. Now I do, because I find that it tastes almost the same as, and it's the foreign rice is really an acquired taste, and we can acquire the taste for local rice as well. So I personally made the choice to switch from foreign to local as much as I can. But it all depends on access. It depends on whether if I walk into a shop, it will be easier for me to grab a Ghana brand of rice, or it will be easier for me to grab an imported rice, even if it is more expensive. So where have the conversations gone with regards to making sure that, such as in other countries like Nigeria, the idea is to put the local rice front, center and back, and there is no in between? So what conversations are being had along these lines? Very
good. I think you have just said it very perfectly, and that is exactly what we're trying to do with this National Rice Fair, because we have seen that there are a lot of brands which are not known. So we need to create awareness for those brands. So when you come to the rice fair, there will be a lot of brands, and then we'll have that kind of engagement. Those who are doing distribution are going to be there. We'll have that engagement with them, and we'll see how we can put that forward. So, I mean, that will help us to make sure that when you walk to a shop, what you see is what local rice. Now, the other thing is that the branding, some of the foreign rice are actually local rice branded, and we need to address that. Because some of them buy the local rice and they brand it as though it's foreign rice. So that has to be corrected as well, so that I know that this brand is local. It should be made in Ghana, not made in Vietnam or Thailand or
so it's
India.
all these deceptive marketing tactics.
Yes.
That local rice is bagged as foreign rice.
Yes.
And so people do not even appreciate that what they are tasting and loving is local.
Yes, so that we need to correct that as well, so that the reason why that is working is because we have not been able to, let the message go down that the local rice is a good taste. And so you buy the local rice and you eat it, and you think that you have actually eaten foreign rice. Why can't you brand it as made in Ghana? Because people still think that the local rice cannot compare to the foreign rice, which is not the case.
Okay, so National Rice Fair, where is it happening?
It's happening at the Wale Wale Sports Stadium on 1st and 2nd February 2023, just a week ahead.
1st and 2nd of February?
Yes.
Okay, what should we expect? All partners, you've mentioned a few. Everyone along the rice value chain will be there.
Yes.
But what's the specific target?
I think these are, as you mentioned, all the partners, the input dealers, the processors, the farmers. You will see a lot of women there. That's one of the interest also for our gender minister. So we will see very high-ranked personalities. We expect even His Excellency the President for this rice fair. That shows already the interest of the government. So it's not something just talked in the air. It's something very real and tangible for the whole nation. And you will be able to taste different local rice. And I know if you come, you will definitely enjoy.
Is it too late to register if you are in the rice value chain?
No, please. You can still call us on 0246 524856 or 0208 708949 to register. And if you also want to support us by way of sponsorship, you can call the same number. We'll be glad to work with you.
Okay. Any more information you'd like to share before we wrap?
We just want to thank our supporters, the GIZ, IDH, for their support. They have done very well. And we also want to thank the Ministry of Food and Agriculture for their support as well. And we thank GTV as well, because your support has been very tremendous.
We tried.
Yes.
Thank you. Rita, last words?
I'm happy that we are here and you have invited us. Thank you for all your support. And let's eat the local rice and let's enjoy the first Ghana Rice Fair in Wale Wale on 1st and 2nd February.
Thank you so much. So it's happening, and the focus is on the local Ghanaian rice farmer. Every person along the rice value chain is invited to Wale Wale Sports Stadium on the 1st and 2nd of February 2023, just a few short days from now, for the first ever National Rice Fair 2023. And the Ministry of Agric is partnering with the rice growers to make sure that this fair is a success, and you can be a part of it as well. You can call 024-6524-856 or 020-87-08949 if you have any intentions of being a part of this fair or supporting, joining partners like GIZ and others to support the local rice farmer. Make local rice a part of your staple at home and learn to appreciate what we grow in Ghana as we all eat Ghana. We want to break that import burden on the city. We want the city to perform better against its major trading partners, and this is one of the ways that we can make it happen. So, National Rice Fair, Wale Wale Sports Stadium, 1st and 2nd of February. I've been doing this conversation with Alhassan Zakaria, business consultant, Tamana Company Limited, and a member of the Rice Fair Planning Committee, and Rita Weidinger is the program leader at the German International Corporation GIZ Move project. Thank you for making the time to be with us. So we hope that you'll go out and be a part of this fair. 1st and 2nd of February, local rice. We like our jollof, so let's go and support rice. We like our wache, so let's go and support local rice in Ghana. We'll be back after this break with more on GTV Breakfast.